Hello, YouTube. Sorry about that interruption. So let's get back to the story. So, anyways, I was by myself in this little motel, and I noticed there was chatter going on the police radios through the wall. I could hear it, and so I got a little spooked. Of course, I was already high on cocaine, so I was already paranoid. I was already absolutely just absolutely spooked. So I'm peeking out the window and I see them peeking through the blinds across the street. And so I start looking around the room, seeing if there's cameras. And the mirror, the ceiling tile above the mirror was lifted, and it had a crack in it. And I thought I noticed something there. So I went up and I looked above the mirror, and there was a camera there. And so now I'm really just absolutely just gigging out. I mean, I was like, why haven't they busted the door down already? I thought they were coming. And this is after the crack man. I noticed the camera and I noticed the police calls. This was right before the crack man showed up and gave me another $100 worth. So I said, why didn't they grab him? So my mind's racing 100 miles an hour. So I said, I sat there for another like half an hour and I started getting thirsty. So I said, well, they're going to grab me or whatever. They're going to grab me. So I just went outside. I started walking across the parking lot and I run into this guy. He's just standing out there. He didn't look like a bum or anything. He just a middle-aged white guy. And he starts asking me questions. And I said, I'm just going to get a beer. So I thought he was part of the police or something. So I just went into the Circle K and got my beer, and tall 16-ounce beer. And I walked back to the room. I sat and I drank my beer. I'm thinking they're gonna bust the door down anytime and grab me and arrest me. Ow. They never come. So I'm just sitting there, and now I just said, well, I paid for 3 days, and no way was I gonna stay in that room for 3 days. With the cameras going and all that was going on. So I went down to the front desk and I said, just give me my money back. You got a camera in the room, you're filming in my room, and I don't like it. Just give me my money back. He didn't argue at all. He just gave me the money back. And so I got in my truck and I left and went down to Gulfport Grand, the Grand Casino. So I'm making my normal lap that I normally make. And I noticed that guy that was at the Circle K, he was following me around the casino. He was watching me. So I said, oh, this ain't good. I mean, they're following me through the casino. This guy. I don't know who else. I know this guy was. So I said, I better get out of here. I'm going to just drive over to Coushatta. The Coushatta Grand is like in Louisiana, and it's like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hour drive. So I go out, and by now the sun's coming up. It's like right at the crack of dawn. It's like 5 o'clock. The sun's starting to come up. Might have been 6. Anyways, the sun started coming up, and I got in my truck and I start driving, and I get on the freeway and I notice a helicopter's following me. I mean, for like an hour, this helicopter's right on me. It's just like tailing me. I'm just like, what the heck is going on? That maybe they thought I was leading them to the stash, or I have no idea what they were doing. But anyways, I got I got really super tired because I hadn't had any sleep. And so I said, well, they're going to grab me, whatever they're going to do. I went and got on a side road from the freeway and pulled under these trees, and I went to sleep. And I woke up, I don't know, about 5 or 6 hours later. It must have been like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No helicopter, no nothing. Didn't grab me. Had no idea what was going on, so I just kept driving. I went to Coushatta Grand. But while I was driving, I was praying to my Heavenly Father that I could get rid of the crack habit, the cocaine, just period, get rid of it. And I made a promise to my Heavenly Father that I wouldn't do it anymore as long as I could golf. If I could golf, I could get rid of the coke habit. So I made about $3,000 in about 2 days in Coushatta Grand. They had a ton of machines, and I just stayed there and hustled and got a room there, and I just stayed off the crack. And so I went 2 days later, I had about $3,000 in cash, and so that I made from Coushatta, and I took off towards Tunica, which is North Mississippi. So I drove to no helicopters, no nothing, nobody following me. There's nothing going on, but that just scared the living dog shit out of me. So I just kept praying to my Heavenly Father, please keep me away from that stuff. Just keep me away. And so I got to Tunica, Mississippi, in the Grand Casino Tunica, and they hadn't had all the bonus machines yet. They hadn't all got there yet, but they still had Odyssey, the Fort Knox. They had some piggy bank ends. They had these Wheel of Fortune machines, the nickel machines you could just crush. You could just kill these machines. These Wheel of Fortunes, the puzzle had to be solved, and the last letter was really difficult to get, especially if you were betting the max nickels. So customers would be betting the max, and they would get to that last letter, and it wouldn't give it to them. It'd just stick, and it wouldn't give them the number or the letter. So I started playing them, and they would bet 25 nickels at a time. I was betting 5 nickels, a quarter. And I would just jam it. I'd just stop the reels real fast, and it would give me the letter. And I would get the big bonus. I could get a $125 bonus betting a quarter. So I just stayed there, and my bankroll, the only thing I needed to have was $40 because I could grind the Wheel of Fortunes. They had a wall of them. There was like 6 machines. And just play after play after play. I could make easily $400 or $500 every day just betting a quarter. And then, I don't know, I was there for maybe 2 or 3 months. And now we're talking, it was into August when I was there in Mississippi. And I ran into another guy who does what I do. He hustles slot machines. He plays them for a living. He doesn't work. His name was David Hunt. But Bobby the Brain, he ended up leaving and going back to Vegas with Eric the Viking. And I never seen him after that. When he left with Eric, I never seen him after that. But anyways, David Hunt, okay, I'm going to have to probably end this here. This is just the second half of part 2. If I got interrupted, I had to make a separate video for this. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed the story so far. But it's going to get really good. So I'm going to end the story where I met David Hunt and what happened with David Hunt. And you're not going to want to miss that. So tune in for part 3 of my 25-year journey as a slot player. And I will see you. Like, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, something you'd like to know, I'll try to respond to your comment. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, I'll probably post David Hunt. Okay, he was a Marine, but I really didn't have a nickname for him other than Goofy. He was just tall and just lanky and goofy. He was like 6'6" and goofy. But yeah, I just called him David. He was a pretty good friend of mine for quite a while, but I'll finish the story about David Hunt on the next video. And we'll see how far we can get into the journey. Right now, it's still 1997. And not quite 1998 yet. So, it's like September, October of 1997. So, yeah, there's a lot of story left. So this is going to be a many-part series. We're probably going to have 30, 40 videos of my story, my 25-year journey as a slot player. So tune in, like, subscribe, and please comment. It does the channel a lot of good. I like to get at least 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible so I can do some live streams. Maybe show you guys some secrets that I know, that no one else knows. Not even the guys, the hustle, my competitors. They don't know some of the tricks that I do. They don't have a clue. And I don't want them to find out. But hey, this is about, teaching you why you should never play a slot machine unless you know what I know. And once you see the win-loss statements, and you will see them because I'm going to post them, and you're going to see the win statements. There's no losses. It's all wins. And they don't like me for it. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for part 3. David Hunt. Have a great night.